What's up? Georgia here. This time around it's Virginia, and I'm still using the knifeaid.com. Okay. Here it goes. State of Virginia has a decent set of laws regarding knife possession and carrying in public. Understand what is legal and what isn't in terms of knives can be tricky. So we have created uh, uh, a guide to help grasp the specifics of Virginia knife law. Uh, Knives are essential tools for meeting, and Virginia has laws to regulate their possession and use. It's crucial to understand the state knife laws to ensure you are abiding by them when carrying or using a knife. In Virginia, knives are defined by any instrument with a blade meant to cut or stab another person or object. This includes pocket knives, hunting knives, switchblades, butterfly, daggers, dirks, stilettos, swords, and machetes, but excludes razors used exclusively for shaving purposes. Uh, Virginia permits the possession of various types of knives, provided they are used responsibly and not used to commit a crime. However, certain knives are prohibited from being carried concealed, including dirks, bowie knives, switchblades, ballistic knives, machetes, and other resembling these types of knives. Switchblades are prohibited in Virginia until recently when the ban was lifted effective July 1st, 2022. Ballistic knives and throwing stars are among knives banned in Virginia. Uh, to me, I think Virginia is just what the East Coast version of California. But of course, that's just my opinion. Open carry knives legal in Virginia, provided they are not used in the communist of a crime. However, certain locations have restrictions on carrying knives. Concealed carry of certain types of knives is prohibited under Virginia law. It is advisable to check the local regulations before carrying any type of knife concealed, as local ordinance may have different restrictions. Uh, Minors in Virginia are prohibited from being sold or furnished a dirk, switchblade knife, or a bowie knife. Unlawful use of knives can result in criminal penalties such as fines and or jail time if found guilty brandishing a knife with intent to intimidate another person or cause them harm. You can face penalties including up to 1 year in jail and or a fine not to exceed $2,500. Besides criminal penalty, civil liability may also arise depending on the circumstances surrounding the violation. If someone is injured due to your unlawful use of a knife, they may file a lawsuit against you, leading to a mandatory damages awarded by the court in cases where property damage occurs which due to your violation. The court may order restitution and other punitive measures uh, such as community service hours. Virginia has a pre-emission law that restricts local governments from enacting ordinance or regulations regarding the possession, sale, transfer, transportation of knives. This ensures uniformity across the jurisdictions within the state regarding knife laws, preventing confusion among citizens who need only abide by one set of rules throughout Virginia. If a local entity violates this provision, legal action could be brought against them by either individuals or organizations challenging their authority over knife regulation within their jurisdictions. Pre-emission law regarding local knife ordinance is a crucial part of understanding Virginia knives laws. Next will be explored the various differences available to those accused of violating these laws. In Virginia, potential defense to charges involving knife violations include lack of knowledge about possessing an illegal knife and self-defense if the individual was using a legal knife to protect themselves from harm or injury. Virginia law does not specify a legal size for carrying a knife, but restrictions apply to carrying certain types of knives concealed or in specific locations. There is no specific blade length restrictions in Virginia state law for knife carry open or concealed except in certain locations like schools, courthouses, and airports where only pocket knives with blades less than 3 inches are allowed. Yes, it's become legal to carry switchblade in Virginia effective July 1st, 2022. However, concealed carry restrictions still apply to switchblades. Throwing knives are not specifically prohibited, but they fall under the general regulations governing the carry and use of knives in Virginia. A minor can legally carry certain types of knives provided they are not used to commit a crime or with intent to harm someone else. However, it's illegal to sell or furnish dirk switchblades or bowie knives to minors. Carrying a knife in your car is allowed as long as it's not one of the prohibited types or used to commit a crime. Carrying a knife with a blade length more than 3 inches of skull rounds is prohibited according to Virginia Code 18.2-308.1. This restriction only applies to airports and courthouses. Here's a couple of official sources of Virginia knife laws. Official Code of Virginia definitions of certain types of knives is 18.2-307.1. Brandishing a knife, section 18.2-282.1 and 18.2-283. Prohibiting the selling or possession of certain types of knives is 18.2-311. Restrictions on carrying certain types of knives, 18.2-308. Here's a couple of significant court cases. Thomas versus Commonwealth 673 SE 2D 467. Define a switchblade and set definitions for other listed knives under the code 18.2-308. Court case on knuckle knife. Establish that knuckle knife constitutes a weapon under Virginia's concealed weapons statute. Commonwealth 686 SE 2D 525. Involve a scuba diving knife and discuss difficulties with a 160-year-old statue. Flanders versus Commonwealth. Explore whether felony hit and run may serve as a predicted offense for felony homicide, albeit not exclusive of knives. Here's some significant changes. April 5th, 2022, Governor Glenn Youngkin signed Senate Bill 758 into law, removing switchblade knives from the list of prohibited weapons, with the law to take effective July 1st, 2022. July 1st, 2022, the Virginia Switchblade Bill, Ban Bill Repeal, Senate Bill 758 came into effect, legalizing the possession, carry, and sale, purchase, and manufacturing of automatic knives, aka switchblades. July 1st, 2023, switchblade knives were removed from the list of concealed weapons prohibited from being carried in public. the knife laws of Virginia have significant changes, especially with the recent repeal and switchblade ban, which spearheaded by the efforts of knife rights advocates and communicated and signed of Senate Bill 758 by Governor Youngkin. The impact of court cases and shaping legal landscape around knife possessions and use in Virginia is notable, with key cases like Thompson's versus Commonwealth provide clarity on definitions and classifications of various types of knives. Ooh, that was a little bit on the lengthy side. As always, though, I ain't no legal expert. I ain't no expert in knives. Just gonna try to do like an overview state by state over knives. I hope y'all get more detail like in your local area in your state. I always appreciate if you like, share, and leave a comment. And if you do, I appreciate a whole lot if y'all hit the subscription button and notification bell, because it really helps this channel out a lot. Well, y'all have a good one. Take care.